Around 6 months back, I was in a very awkward position. I generated one report with ChatGPT, and then my client asked a question. I drew a complete blank because I just used ChatGPT to generate the report. I did not own the report myself. I thought AI is making me smarter, more efficient, effective. Actually, I was becoming more and more dumb with AI. And this is exactly what MIT lab study that was published recently is talking about. That people who are using AI and becoming completely dependent on that with a 100% cognitive offloading, they are not using their brain. Their neural activity is getting lesser and lesser, and that's the danger. And as a leader, we need to be concerned. You don't want to have the experience that I went through in front of the client, for sure, right? So in this video, I'll share with you three things. First, the MIT lab study and why it is so important for you to understand as a leader. That's number one. Second, I'm going to share with you the 4 stages of evolution that everyone goes through in this journey. And the third is a strategic integration protocol, how you learn all this and how you integrate it in the right way. Start developing or building your new operating system. So let's first talk about the MIT lab study. What MIT lab did, they experimented with 3 groups with the essay writing. It's a very narrow case, by the way. With the essay writing, they took hardly like a 57 or 60 candidates, put them in 3 groups. First group only had their own brain to think about the essay and the solution, how they want to write it. So brain only group. Second group is where they had access to web and search, right? So like Google search and others. So that's second group. And the third group had full access to ChatGPT. You can replace ChatGPT with any other LLM. So basically they had access to LLM. So these are the 3 groups. And they put a brain scan for each of the participant. And it's not very surprising. The group was the brain only group. They had the highest neural activity. And people who are having the ChatGPT, access to ChatGPT, they have the lowest neural activity, and people with the search engine is called somewhere in between. And it was a staggering, I think 32% difference between the top brain-only group and the ChatGPT users. Because if the machine is thinking for them, why even bother their brain? That's the kind of thinking, right? Machine is working for the brain because you have offloaded the thinking to the brain, and that's that group. But that's not all. Then they further experimented with a 4th group with a tweak. This group is the brain-only group who started with brain-only for some time, and then they were given access to ChatGPT. And the neural activity there amplified. Their output also became much better. And this is startling discovery or insight, whatever way you want to put it, right? And this also shows how you want to use the LLMs or AI the right way. And this is what I am going to talk about, how you do that in a minute. But before that, let's see what kind of 4 stages we go through in any evolution. And even with AI, and as you use AI, you do the same. First, we become resistant. So we become we don't want to use any or get adapted to any new technology or trend, and we resist. You remember I shared in the last video, 18 months back, I was in that category. I was resisting change. I did not know even how to use ChatGPT. AI evolution happening. ChatGPT came in 2022 November. I'm talking about 2024 January or so, right? 18 months since ChatGPT came to existence. I was a novice. I was an ignorant. I was a skeptic. So we start from there, many of us resistant. Then we become experimenter. I went for a transformation, not a gradual, sudden transformation, become the experimenter. I was experimenting not only with ChatGPT, many other LLMs, Claude, Gemini, Notebook LM, and other AI tools. I became the experimenter. So that's where most of the leaders, by the way, the smart leaders, they start with that step or stage, experimenter. They don't resist, they experiment. You want to be there. Then as you use it more and more, you become completely dependent on AI. that what I shared at the beginning of this video. I became completely dependent on AI, even not recognizing the output that I am sharing with the client and not able to answer their question. You become so dependent. You offload your entire thinking to AI. Of course, I've heard that, but that's what we become. And the fourth stage is the amplifier. That brain only group plus when they had the ChatGPT, it amplified their thinking, it expanded their thinking and neural activity. And that's where you want to be, right? Amplifier. So these are the four stages. So we talked about MIT lab study and the four stages of evolution. Then the third thing, which is very important, strategic integration protocol. How you actually start thinking about your operating system, leadership operating system, and how you want to upgrade this in the right way. So talking about strategic integration protocol, you follow three very simple steps. First and foremost, before you touch any AI tool for any work or strategy or anything you do, even an email, you have your thinking, you have your draft. That's number one. Don't touch AI tool for first 10-15 minutes. If it is a very high-end strategic work, even more than that, do your work first, do your thinking first. Don't depend on AI at that stage. Once you have done that, then you go to the AI tool, whatever tool you have or technology you follow, then you go and come to the second step. And there also, don't offload yet your thinking to AI. You do it the right way. And the right way here is not replacing your thinking, having AI as your thinking partner. And how to do that? You give the prompt the right way. First, give a role or persona to AI. Say, assume, for example, if it is a strategy work, I will say, assume you are a consultant in a top strategy consulting organization. Give the role to AI. Then say, what is the task? I am going to produce a strategy report. Act as my thinking partner for this entire chat thread. Put it that way, right? And you can define any other work, you can define it the right way. So that's the second step. Third step, then you say, I have already thought through. You have already thought through for 10-15 minutes or even more. Say, I have already thought through and this is my thinking. So put your thinking there. And these are my ideas. Share that with so that it's not hallucinating. It has the context. And you can further expand with the guardrails, etc. But I'm not going there. So let's follow this simply. So first, you give the role or persona to AI. Then ask AI to be your thinking partner. Third, give your ideas. Then comes the fourth step where you say, now, either you can say you criticize my thinking or what am I missing, or let's generate whatever the content we want to generate. So you do it that way. Here comes the third step. Whatever AI is generating, don't accept as is. If you accept as is without thinking, you will be like me. You will not be able to defend your report or output to anyone else. You need to own that, right? To do that, you have to have your human evaluation, human in the loop, right? Whatever output AI is giving, then you look at it critically with your critical thinking hat on, criticize it, have more discussion like you're discussing with a companion or a partner, enhance your thinking. It's a dance with AI. You are not a slave of AI, right? So these are the three steps. And if you follow these three steps, first 10 to 15 minutes or even more, you are not touching any tool for any work. You are thinking independently. Second, you are then giving the task to AI with the proper prompt as I shared, and you can see it here now again. And then finally, evaluate the output with a critical thinking hat on and further enhance and have a discussion. If you do these three steps, you will start creating a new operating system for yourself. You will be a different person. You will be the champion, AI champion you want to be. And talking about being an AI champion, next week, I am going to share with you how you upgrade your leadership competencies and capabilities, like you are upgrading your leadership OS operating system, and what kind of skills that you need, where you want to amplify your capability in the age of AI, leadership in the age of AI with the new operating system. So don't want to miss out, hit the subscribe button, and we talk again next week, continuing our series on AI, leadership in the age of AI. Until then, bye for now.